Hello, Success Honorees. Welcome to the TV and conference call talk show, The Road to Success. You know, the talk show, The Road to Success, is a talk show that's here especially to benefit you. So, although we do have main topics, and like today's topic is product and services for the blind and disabled. You know, I'm your host, Professor William Murray, and I'm also the sponsor one of the sponsors and the president of the Millionaire Mastermind Institute, which is an institute for entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs. It's here where millionaire mindsets, lifestyles, and businesses are made. We take you from idea to implementation and beyond. You see, we're at the Millionaire Mastermind Institute. We're going to help you. We're going to teach you. We're going to guide you. We're going to make you successful and a winner. We're going to be your GPS system to success. We're going to teach you the product, the process to success. And we're going to get you there, y'all. There's no way. I'm a 45-year entrepreneur. So I know a little bit of something. You know, I know a little bit of something, where I can teach you and guide you and get you where it is that you want to go, you want to be. You know, the Institute has helped many people build their idea, grow their business, and I'm always here whenever you need. And see, the show, The Road to Success, is a show to benefit you. I bring on special guests, special people, knowledge, information that I know you're going to need. And so I bring that to you. You know, I bring that to you so that you can get the process to make sure that you're legal, even in life. Make sure that your life and business legal. See, everything goes, that's the first thing I say, you know, we build millionaire mindsets. See, your mindset is the most important thing to anything, because everything first goes through thought. Mindset. That's why I say we build millionaire mindsets. But see, once I get your mindset correct, see, here's the thing about the mind. You know, I'll always tell you that when your mind is a weapon, you're unfit to be a slave. And you're going to be successful, because I'm going to guarantee you success if you follow the guidelines and the GPS system that I give you. 45 years has taught me a lot. I'm giving you my experience in the 45 years of business, and the people I met, the circle I'm in, the people I bring on, like my guest tonight, Reverend Raysor. So I'll bring him on to y'all. That's someone that's going to give you knowledge and education, and show you what's out there for the blind and the disabled. This brother has lost his sight at the age of 12 or 13, but it don't slow you down. He don't have to have sight to have a vision. You don't need sight to have a vision. This brother is living proof. I've been knowing this young man for now 10 years or more. And he's always giving information and knowledge. He's out there to help you, to guide you. You know, he's been through anything that you could go through. And if he doesn't know, he's got people who can give it to you. He's like me, see, he's got that little black book with names in it, people in it, what they do, and through his radio show and everything else. I swear, I don't know how. This man must have more than 24 hours in a day with everything that he does. But ain't no way he can do everything he does in 24 hours. He's like me. He probably works 25/8 instead of 24/7. Because this brother is out there in the community. He's doing, because he doesn't have sight, doesn't mean he doesn't have vision. Because he's doing more without sight than most people do with sight. It amazes me how he gets around. It seems like everywhere I go, there he is. He's very well known all throughout the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area. He's very well known. He's also a radio celebrity. He's a speaker. So it's not like, you know what, let me shut up. Let me shut up and bring on this brother. Brother Ray, how we doing today, my brother?
Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm doing great, my brother Murray. You always excite me when I hear you spinning. And one thing you always give is hope. You always give hope and show the possibility. So thank you for allowing me to share your space with you this evening. I'm looking forward to you and your guests.
Well, I've got a lot of people online, and see, here's the thing. I've got 6, 7 sites that I broadcast on across the country. I got YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Periscope, the Millionaire Mastermind Institute, my private page on Facebook, and my conference call. So that's the country listening to you. I've got people from California to Maine to Florida and everything in between. Honolulu, even.
You're global.
I'm global, baby. I am global. And it is, it's an honor and a pleasure, my brother, to have you on. You know that, because I always enjoy being around you, man. Because you really, really, really help me a lot. You really do. You teach me a lot.
Well, thank you.
You teach me a lot, my brother. Now let's do this real quick, Ray, so the people will know who you are. Tell them, who is Ray Raysor?
Well, first of all, now Ray Raysor know who he is, because we are all given names. Names are so important. That's why it bothers me sometimes when I hear millenniums or the X's or whatever come up with all these made up names. If you look through the Bible, believe me, your name makes a difference. And I like to always go to Daniel. You remember when Nebuchadnezzar and them went in from Babylon, went in and took the Jews from Israel and all. And remember, the first thing they did was change their name. And why did they do that? Because they took their God name to change it to a ungodly name to fit their way, because they know that names are so important. So, read about Daniel and think about your name. Now, the name you might be given, and think about it doing your neighborhood. You see people call, different names. They call this boy Fat Eddie or Big Mike. And those people grew up with those names, or they call somebody Boo Boo or these different names, or Crazy Al or whatever. And those people act those names out. So names are so very important. So as I say, as I understood what my name was, which in the Bible is a saintly name as well, and it's a generous person, Saint Raymond. And after learning my name and learning who I am, and you can also take the name and make yourself have a different name to be something special. And that's why words are so powerful. And Brother William Murray, and you notice that there's thought in the title that he give to his projects, and then the million master group. I mean, million. I mean, that means that you shouldn't limit yourself in what you want. Why can't you have $1 million? Why can't you be a millionaire? Why can't you have a beautiful home and be able to travel all over the world? And when you got a nephew or niece or a child won some type of contest to go all over the world, you don't have to scramble and call everybody to get a little bit of money. If somebody in your family die, You don't have to be out there beating the bushes to see if you can go to Social Security and get $250 and then ask everyone else and stuff. So you should be able to have that kind of house. And in the Bible, think about it. God favored his special people. Abraham was not poor. Okay, Jacob was not poor. Isaac was not poor. I mean, the most wealthiest man in the world, and nobody ever can be more wealthy, was Solomon, and the wisest. So, so it's so important. And like Brother Murray say, thought. I don't care what you have on, clothes, ring, necklace, sitting on a couch or whatever. There was a thought before those things materialize. So I'll stop there. Let me say my name is Reverend, and they call me now Reverend Radio Raysor, because the Lord tapped me on the shoulder to become a minister. Not that long ago, I just became a minister and turned to the Lord in 2016. I was did my first trial sermon and then was ordained. And let me tell you, it should have been 50 years ago when the Lord tapped me on the shoulder and told me what he needed me to do. But I ran from him like Jonah ran from him, and he put me through some valleys and all. But once you understand who your name is, once you understand what your purpose in life is, you will not be doing all these unnecessary activities. And like when people think they're busy during the day because they on this committee, they on this board, they doing this job, maybe just for money. No, the Lord has a purpose and plan for your life. And once you understand what that is, then everything you do from that point on will feed into what your calling is. So find what your calling is. Some people find that calling when they're young, like Martin Luther King. I mean, he found this calling when he was young. From that point on until he was assassinated, he knew what he needed to do. He knew what he wanted to do. And I always go back to the same thing with Daniel. Then it's people later in life, because they didn't have a relationship with the Lord. They wasn't a reader or educator like our brother Murray is. I mean, he always educating himself, always reading. So a lot of people is not doing that, so they don't know who they are. They don't know what the Lord wants them to do. But
Brother Ray.
Yes.
One thing I always tell my audience, and I tell all my people tuning and listening, it's no sin being born poor, but it's a sin dying that way.
I agree.
Because there's too much. Here's the thing: everybody is born for a purpose.
Yes.
And see, that's what I do. I try to show people and help them grow into their purpose. See, your purpose is not guaranteed lifelong.
No.
My purpose has changed many times to grow me into to be the president of the Millionaire Mastermind Institute. I wasn't that 10, 15, I was 10 years ago, I was. But 15, 20, 25, 30 years, I wasn't, but I grew into this.
Yes.
My purpose changed, but every time my purpose changed, it was from what I did and the growth from what I did to get me to now I'm the president of the Millionaire Mastermind Institute. I've got businesses, I got employees, I've got a national show, and all of it is centered because I know what my purpose is. I am now living my God-given purpose, and I'm aware of that fact.
That's great. And that's one of the most valuable and probably legacy things that any one of us can leave as part of our legacy is to help other people achieve their potential and achieve what God wants them to be. So just going back to me losing my sight when I was 13, I'm a native Washingtonian and proud of it. Grew up in Southeast. The house I grew up in was where they tore down in Southeast across from the Navy Yard to put the ballpark. Mm-hmm. I moved to Northwest when I was 13, living right there around 7th and N Street, where the old Kennedy playground, the Shaw area. I lost my sight when I was 13, 4th of July, 1963. A big firecracker, which we call a cherry bomb, exploded in my face and blinded me in both eyes. And, and so as I got older, I thought my life was pretty much over with. But I got at the Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind. I always have to thank them. They taught me how to use a cane, taught me how to use Braille and all. And then I went to Maryland School for the Blind, was a residential school in Baltimore, where we go there, we'll go on Sunday and stay until Friday, and then come back home by Greyhound, by Trailway bus at the time. And then I graduated and went to American University and took business. And I got into a contractor with the special program with the government, where you go in the government building, you see the snack bars, the delis, the restaurants. I owned a number of those for 37 years. And then I got out of that business and I got into music and all. And I'm the manager and the keyboardist and the vocalist and the manager of a 7-piece men's gospel group called Men of Praise, where we go up and down the East Coast and churches and that kind of thing. And that's one of our givebacks to the Lord. And now tithing. I also have a guide dog. This is my number 7th guide dog. And now work for CNI Guide Dog School. That's the oldest school, and started the first guide dogs in 1929. And I worked for them for a couple of years and traveled all over the country and Canada. And what my specialty was to go to Black organizations like NAACP, Urban League, Black churches, to talk about how a guide dog would help persons of color to be able to get them more independence, because Black people don't have the same relationship with dogs that white people do. Whereas white people, they have dogs, they live in their home, they sleep in the bed with them, and they hugging them and kissing them. And so people will ask me when I do presentations, they say, well, Reverend Ray, Black people have dogs. I say, yeah, we have dogs, but our dogs is more like a status symbol or something. That dog ain't sleeping in the bed with us and have his own bowl at our table and stuff. And they say, well, Reverend Ray, you blind. How do you know if you're around white people or Black people? I say, well, one of the instances, for instance, I say when I travel, if I'm on an elevator by myself and me and the dog and the elevator open, I say if people run in the elevator and start hugging the dog and kissing the dog and talk about, Fluffy, I remember when I had Spot, and I remember when I say, I know they white. I say, but if the elevator open and all of a sudden I hear these people screaming and running, I know they Black.
Well, man, the dog that you have as your companion is a shepherd.
Yes, I had all shepherds, and I have a shepherd now called Raven. And she's special. She is what they call a coded shepherd. And what coded shepherds are, of all shepherds that's bred and born, only 3% are coded shepherds. And coded shepherds have a little longer hair. They have their ears a little bigger, and they are a little more intelligent on top of the scale. So I've been really blessed. But anyway, so I work for now. Matter of fact, I'm the recent president of Capital Area Guide Dogs. What we call CAGDU is Capital Area Guide Dog Users Inc. And I'm the president, and we have over 100 persons with guide dogs that's representative in Washington, D.C., Virginia, Montgomery County, Southern Maryland, North Virginia. And we just had a big victory. When I became president, the guide dog CNI called me and said, Reverend Ray, we've been trying to get a bill passed for years, a protection guide dog bill. And you all don't have one in Maryland or Virginia or DC. And now I heard that you became president and, used to work for us, and we'll do anything to what we can to support if you work on that. So fortunately, a couple of years ago, I knew a gentleman named Mr. Calvin Hawkins, and I knew Wayne Curry, who was the former, he's passed now, but he was the first black county exec in PG County. And Calvin used to work for Mr. Curry, and Mr. Curry and him used to go to the building that's named after Mr. Curry, the Sportsplex, and they used to work out. So me and my wife, we worked out every in the morning. So we got to know them. We would joke with them, and they had a coach. They had their own coach that would train them. So their coach used to use me as an example. He said, look at that blind man over there doing this and doing that on the machine. And you all can't do this and do that. So we got to know them and joking and stuff. And then when Calvin decided this year, and it was like 10 years ago or more, I met him. But when he decided that he was going to run for county at large, Prince George County at large, they was adding 2 positions, and he decided he was going to run. And so I saw him someplace. So he said, Reverend Ray, I want you to be part of my campaign team. I want to be part of my inner circle. I want to bring some spiritual to it. And so I said, well, okay. So I started. So every morning he would have a team meeting at 7:00, and I would pray for the team, and we would pray and all. And then I would go out and campaign with him, talk to different disability groups and all. And I also did some campaign work for county now executive county exec, Miss Arthur Brooks, and I also did some campaigning for Aisha Bravebro, our state's attorney, because I brought to their attention about people with disability. And so all 3 of them won. So I was basically offered a job, or could have had a job with all 3 of them, but I took the work of Mr. Hawkins. And he asked me to work for him. And I said, well, I don't want to work no full time. I'm getting older. I want to spend time with my wife. I retired. No, he said, well, you talked about a person with disability and what they need and stuff. So, sometimes, as Brother Murray would tell you, those who receive more have to give back out more. So I said, okay. So I've been working for him now for 3 years, going on 3 years. I'm the director of constituent services. My concentration is person with disability and seniors, because one of the things in Prince George's County is that we do not have a disability center, and we do not have a commission for the blind. So say if you or one of your loved ones or friends became blind, okay, to learn Braille or learn how to use the cane, they will have to go out of county. They will have to go to Baltimore to learn Braille, or they will have to go to DC to learn how to use the cane. Say they became wheelchair bound and they wanted to stay in their home and learn how to cook and stuff. Well, we don't have the facilities here or center. They will have to go to Baltimore, or that's workforce technology, and stay anywhere from 6 weeks to 9 months. So we don't have that facility. So that's one of the things I have been talking to the county decision makers about, that we should have some type of facility here. And right now, what we call DOORS, the Department of Rehabilitation, if you need services, because we're so backed up and all, and that's a state function, you have to be on the waiting list for 18 months before you get any services. So one of the things, I'm the minister, I'm on the ministerial staff of Word of God Community Church, and that's in Blaytonburg, and I'm the pastor and pastor, senior pastor Willie W. Duvall, and my executive pastor, Brother Corbin. They allowed me to start a ministry called Disability Cares Ministry. And what that ministry is that if somebody, it's a wraparound service ministry. So if someone needs a cane, well, they can't wait 18 months to get somebody to teach them how to use a cane and teach them how to get around. So we will, with people donating to us, we have contact, or we will contact a person that train you how to use a cane and buy you a cane. Like a brother, he lost his cane and he didn't have the money to buy a cane. Cane could become anywhere from $60 to $90. He didn't have the money being on SSI or, and so we went out and got him one and took it to him. I mean, and the same thing, like if a person needs some technology now, and Brother Murray just pointed out all the different ways that you have to be able to communicate on these platforms. Well, for a lot of blind people and people with disability, they can't afford the internet for $60 to $100 a month. They can afford a computer that costs you, even if it's cheaper now, $300, $400, or you want to get a refurbished one, and then the training, and then the software, like the software I'm using right now to be able to hear you all and get on it. It costs $1,200. I mean, this stuff is not cheap, So therefore,
because it's a specialty item. That's why.
Yes. And
well, Brother Ray, now you're talking about things that you're doing to help them. Tell us what's out there for the blind and the disabled.
Okay.
What program? What's out there, and whereabouts are they? So they can either use it or pass it on to a neighbor, friend, or a family member.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would say that we do have a government agency here called Family Services and Disability. They attach it on to that because they don't look at disability as important, which we're going to change that and make it a separate service. But they have called Family Services and Disability. Then they have DOORS, that's the Department of Rehabilitation Services. And here again, you can go on my website, which is Raysor, and you have the flyer.
Now, Raysor spelled Raysor.
Correct, German.
Raysor.
Yes, and you can go on there and you can get a lot of information and all about the various places. And because, like I say, we don't have a center here, like in DC, they have a DC center for independent living. So people with disability will go there. Now, a lot of people from this area, PG County, we do go there for different programs and all, where they teach you how to cook, they teach you how to independent living services, how to count your money, how to fold your money if you're a blind person, how to open up a banking account, how to make up a bid. They will teach you that. And we don't have that here, this is what I'm saying, PG County. But they do have a relationship that they will send you to DC to do that. Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind, the same thing. We don't have in PG County where you can go and learn how to read Braille, but they will send you to Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind. So those are the main services that we have here. And one of the reasons that I have a show called Sight and Vision Disability and Senior Talk Radio Show that comes on every Friday from 3 to 4 o'clock East Coast time, because that we have show. Yeah, we have that show to be able to get the information out. People don't need to find out, like myself. When I became blind, my mother had no idea where to go for services or anything.
Well, Brother Ray, tell us how they can tune into your show, because you got two shows. Tell us and how can we tune into your show?
Well, you can tune in my show about every Friday from 3 to 4. You can tune in to my show. We're on Blog Talk right now. We're usually from WOL, but because of the the COVID, no one is really going in doing anything physically. So you could just go on to my. The best way is to just go on to my website, and then you'll see all the information there, because I know people don't write down stuff and everything.
Well, give your website again.
Okay, so you can just put my name in and put it in the address bar, because there's a number of Raysors. I didn't know that many Raysors spelled that way, but my website is Rev, R-E-V dot Ray, R-A-Y dot Raysor, R-A-Y-S-O-R @gmail.com. And that is my real name. A lot of people say, they'll write it down, say Raymond Ray. Say, wait a minute, you the original Ray? I'll say from up the street and down the corner. And so anyway, so you can tune in, and here we bring on people from the disability community that provide services for a person with disabilities and talk about all of this.
Now, Brother Ray, you gave us your email address. What is your website?
I'm sorry. It is still Ray. It's still the same first as a Rev REV dot Ray RAY dot Raysor RAYSOR.com. Okay, .com. All right. The email is that at gmail.com. But for the
Right.
website,
Okay. I don't people because you got people listening, Ray, and you don't have people out there doing shows like this one I'm doing, and having guests on like you to give them information about those that are blind or disabled, and a large population of America are in the boat you're in. And I got to tell you, I was a senior citizen, but now I'm known as an elder, which
yeah,
is a compliment.
yeah.
See, there's a difference between being a senior citizen and being an elder, and
Amen.
it's a compliment to me when I was on a program, and the guy come on and says it was an honor to have an elder. And it was man, that was a blessing. Man, that was, I mean, you don't know what that did to me, man. I never considered myself an elder.
Yeah.
But because of my knowledge and wisdom, they consider me an elder.
Yeah, yeah. No, and that's a good point. And also, speaking of age, what we find in the disability community, and which they try to tie the seniors and disability, and you'll know in some counties and states, they tie those two categories together now because we have found people are living longer. Every day, over 65 people turn 10,000 people are turning 65. So this country is becoming more and more a senior or elder country.
Yes.
And the doctors never expected people to live this long, and they'll tell you they don't know what to do with. They don't know what to do with it. They didn't know people going to live this long, and they have a life expectancy of now of people living to be maybe 120 years old. Interesting things. One of the things that Prince George County government used to do when a person turned 100 years old, it was such a rarity that we would bring them to the county Tuesday. Every Tuesday, the county council get together and have their meetings, and it's open to the public. And anybody that turned 100, if somebody would send in their name and all, we would do a proclamation because it was so special. But now so many people turning 100, we had to stop doing that. So that's how many people are turning 100 now. And also circling back to what you do, Brother Murray, talking about entrepreneurship and all. One of the things also in the disability community that I jump up and down about on the soapbox, when the white and Caucasian people, children or family become disabled, what they did, they turned it into a business. Okay. So they turned into a business. Now, Black people, we are still ashamed of our children becoming disabled. And my theory is this: it carries over from slavery. During the Willie Lynch time, when Black people became children on the plantation, had a disability, well, they were no use to the masters, so they killed them. So what Black mothers did, which they always have such an ingenuity, they figured out a way to cover up their child's disability, and because they was ashamed of it. Well, that has even carried on to the day. Like I said, I play. I'm a musician, and we go from church to church to play. And I often ask the pastor, I say, "Well, Pastor, we don't charge anything, but do you mind if I do a little presentation or say something between songs about, disability and all?" And he said, "Oh, Brother Ray, we don't have any people with disability in our church." I said, "Yeah, okay. I hear this all the time." And then after I play and I mention disability, I have a number of people come to me on the side and say, "Reverend Ray, I'm glad you mentioned that. I have a wooden leg. You want to hit it?" I'm like, he said, "Nobody else know." No. He just say, "Oh, I got a brother that's home. That's
right.
you know,
Right.
and say, I don't bring them to the church because people would laugh and make fun of them. And I go back to the pastor and let them know, no, there's a lot of people with disability. They just you all just putting up a little ramp, a jive time ramp, and maybe a little braille on the bathroom, and you think that you have, taken care of the American Disability Act, the ADA. But no, there's a lot of people. But going back to what I'm saying, white people, they embrace it to the point that they turn it into like what you're seeing now, the Olympics. I mean, so the Kennedys, I mean, they had a family member that had a disability. Now you have what? The Olympics, the disability Olympics.
The Olympics for the handicapped, yeah.
Exactly. So these people turn it into businesses where black people, we're consumers like we always in other things. We don't turn it into a business because, like I say, because we still working with it. So that's some of the things in the black community I'm still working on, and I'm on the executive committee of the Prince George County NAACP branch, and I just got permission from our branch to to form a disability advocacy action group for we now can address the disability in black communities, because like in all things, even in the disability community, the blacks are way down on the totem pole. Like I just told you, I became president of the Capital Area Guide. I'm the first black president of that organization. Okay, so a lot of things with disability, us blacks are not involved. So throughout the church and throughout the government that I'm in now, and I'm the only disability person that works for the county legislature. Three now. I want to give y'all a history of civics lessons, which they have stopped teaching in school. We have 3 levels of government. That's the legislative branch, and what that county branch do is basically 2 things. One, approve the the funds for the county executive spend, and they set policy. And that's the legislative branch. And then of course, you got the executive branch, which is the county exec, and then you have the justice part, and then you have the state attorney. Well, I'm the only person with a black person and person with a disability that work for the legislative branch. And it's a shame in the year 2000 and 21 that there's only one disability person that works in the legislative branch. You know what I'm saying? So we have a long way to go in.
No doubt about that. We're always behind the 8 ball. Brother Ray, let me take a pause for a minute here and give a commercial so I can make sure that the show keeps running and we eat.
I guess.
Y'all, the Millionaire Mastermind Institute and this show, we live off of your donations. We have to survive off of your donations. So we're asking you to give donation, and I'm putting up there now where you can financially support the show, The Road to Success. You can send this money through Cash App, $W Murray, Cash App, $W Murray, or PayPal.me/MM Institute. PayPal.me/MM Institute. You can also, if you want to send us to snail mail and send it to us into P.O. Box 47438, District Heights, Maryland, 20753. So that's P.O. Box 47438, District Heights, Maryland, 20753. We survive off of your donations. Don't think that $5, $10, $15, $20, $25 don't help. It helps tremendously. You don't get this kind of show anywhere else other than here. We're always having guests to cover and provide for you. So we're asking you to give us a donation. It don't take a lot. Just whatever you can afford. Cash App, $W Murray, PayPal.me /MM Institute, or mail us a check money order at P.O. Box 47438, District Heights, Maryland 20753. And we'd appreciate all donations, y'all. See, this show is free to y'all. It's not free to me and the Institute. It's up to y'all to keep us on the air and bringing you what we're bringing you. I tell you, and I'm getting ready to put it up now, if you want to contact us in a manner, you can always send an email to us. TRTS, which is the road to success, TRTS.info1@gmail.com. As a matter of fact, let me put it up there right now. So put it on so you'll see what the, there it is right there. Is that it? Colin? Nope, that's not the one I want, but that's okay. It's there. Y'all see the one that's there. There's the one I want to show. To email the show, the road to success, TRTS.info1@gmail.com. Like I say, no donation is too small, none. And we appreciate your help and your financial support. Now, y'all got to realize that we're looking for sponsors. You can advertise, you can have a commercial on the show. All you got to do is call the Institute. And there that is there. 240-619-2019. That's 240-619-2019. And that way, we need your help, y'all. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We need your help. We need your help. We can't do this by ourselves. If you don't support us, how are we going to stay on the air? That's like how you going to eat and live if you don't have money coming in and don't have support. Think about it, y'all. Well, it's the same thing with us. We need your support. Now back to the show. Brother Ray.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you're
sir.
Giving some. Now, y'all, the lines are open. Or if you're online on social media, post in the feed, and I'll read your feed. So talk to us. Or if you want to come on the show live, talk to Brother Ray live, 218-548-0510. And the PIN number is 1950 pound. PIN number 218-548-0510 to talk to Reverend Ray Raysor. So lines are always open. If you're on the live line, don't wait for us to just go ahead and just speak up. Lines are open, y'all. Somebody talk to us. But Brother Ray, our friend Joe Madison, who Joe Madison.
Yes.
He told me one time to help calm me down. I couldn't figure out why people don't talk to me. He said 97% of the people that are online will never say a word.
That's true.
That means only 3% speak. Well, you do a show.
Yes. Yes. I know. We have to encourage them. We have to cajole them. We have to sometimes not only challenge but threaten them. And let me say one other thing about our group. Our group with disability, anyone can join. And they do. And that's a person that's they can be no matter what race, what age, they join our group because when you're young, you can have a disability. I mean, when you're old, you can have a disability. So we have all types of people in this disability. And right now, it's over 330 or 50 million people in the United States. It depends on who you're talking to. And 70 and a fifth of those persons have disabilities. So we have over 70 persons with disability across the board. And unfortunately, of that 70, less than over 80% is not employed. Okay, over 80% of persons with that can work with disability is not employed, and only 4% of who are employed they only make over $4,000. I mean, believe it or not. So we have to do a lot of things right now to think out of the box in terms of people with disability receiving, and those who receive, you hear them receive SSI or you hear them receive a SSDI, which is two different types, and I won't get into what they are, but they're checks from the government, and those checks is only anywhere from $500 to $1,200 if you're in the lucky group. Now,
lucky group, you're right.
In this day and age, where in the world can you get an apartment for $400 to $500 up to $1,200?
It don't exist.
No, it don't exist. A senior called me our office the other day and said, Reverend Ray, they're going up on my rent again. I said, what do you mean they're going up on your rent again? They say, well, I signed a contract and you know, under one of those programs. I don't want to name the program because I don't want to put it down. Rental program. And I said, well, let me look into it. So, you know, in educating myself and talking to the housing authority, they come to find out that if you get a special program in a special area, I mean, in an area of the county, and I'm just going to deal with PG County because this happened in PG County, and the person has signed, well, the government will pay a certain amount of money, 80% of whatever that is. But what people don't understand is this. In that area, when they reassess how much those apartments or houses go for, the landlord can raise their money. They can raise it up to that amount. Okay, so in this particular case, the person lived in Bowie. Okay, so Maryland did a reassessment of their property. And the property, so now an apartment that used to go for $1,300 go for $3,000.
When you said Bowie, I knew that was coming. When you said Bowie, brother.
So the landlord had the right to raise those people's rent up to that. There's nothing that we could do about it. You know, there's things that we can do about, and there's things that we can't. It's the process, and there's the procedures, and there's the regulations. But if you want those changed, like I tell people, I know we all busy. I know, you know, most of us are working a 9-to-5 job. We don't have time to get on committees. We don't have time to get on boards of directors and stuff. But I'm telling you, I sit there now. Now I'm on the other side. I was one of those people that didn't do any of that. But I'm there at the county government. I see what people come there and they advocate and they get the contracts and they get the grants for $30,000 up to $500,000. I know now the people from the National Harbor. You know, I know them personally now because they come up there every day asking the county council for this, for that. You know, they came out with a bill where a law where they wanted to restrict or make sure that any restaurant or little carry out, you know, you could go in and dance and stuff. They came up with a restriction that if you have a restaurant or a type of facility, eating facility now, you can't just dance there. You got to get a license, and it has to be a certain amount of footage and stuff. Well, of course, National Harbor, that would affect them with all the different restaurants and stuff they have. So they was up there every day advocating to make sure that, you know, that thing worked out for them. And I know, you know, people, like I say, I know they working on, but you got to be involved. If you are not a decision maker, then you one of the people that they got to solve a problem for. All right.
Brother Ray, once again, man, go ahead. Give again how people can reach you. Okay. You got people be calling you wanting to know, you know, how can you help them or what's available for them? How can people reach you, Reverend Ray?
Well, you can call me at 240-691 I'm sorry, yeah, 240-691-8031. That's 240-691-8031. And right now we have a challenge where we are trying to get people to get the COVID shot. So if you call that number and just leave your name and say, I got the COVID shot, and leave your name and phone number and say, I got the COVID shot, where every week we will put your name in a drawing. And on my radio show, we draw a name and the person can weigh anywhere from $25 to $100. And we doing that to do our part, especially for people with disability, and you can tell me if you have a disability or not.
Brother Ray.
Yes.
Here's the thing, because I pushed this, and I was going to go. I always got to mention this, y'all. You got to get the shot. You got to get the shot. Y'all got to realize right now, 98. Listen to me closely, y'all. 98% of those that are coming down with COVID right now haven't got the shot.
That's true.
98 out of every 100. That means 900 and 98 people. No, it's 989 people, something like that. Out of every 1,000 that don't have the shot come down with COVID. And it's new strain because I just lost someone in 3 days.
Yes.
It took them away in 3 days. This new one out there, y'all, it ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah, the Delta.
Delta, yeah. It ain't nothing to play with. And brother and Sister Zimmerman, Danya, she says your thoughts in your mind will determine if you succeed or not in all you do. And that's fact. Y'all, and I'm saying do not be afraid of the shot. Get the shot, y'all, because it's not worth the side effects. People say, well, like this one lady's husband had it, was in the hospital 5 weeks, and she's telling me I'm scared to take him. The government is trying to kill me. Well, what do you think COVID's going to do?
Yeah. And mentioning that, brother Murray, they have a new term now that we're gonna hear a lot. It's called long haulers, and what that is, that people that get the catch a COVID, if they survive it, we figure the percentage right now is 40% of the people that survive COVID, they're going to have for the rest of their life, they're going to have some type of
side effects,
condition. And Prince George County, our county exec have had meetings with our medical officer chief, Ernest Carter, Dr. Ernest Carter. And what we're trying to get ahead of that and trying to come up with hopefully a line item in the budget for next year to help take care of these people, because they're going to have this for the rest of their life. So we had a gentleman not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, only 30-some years old, got COVID. He survived it. So now if he lived to be another 70, 80 years old, it affected his nervous system. So for the next 40 years or so, who's going to take care of him? Where he's going to get the money? He's not going to be able to get a job where he can work every day. So we're going to have a number of those folks. So it's so important to get this COVID shot. It really, really is.
It is. And like I say, man, right now, because here's how I looked at it. Here's what made me know that it was all right. The first people to get the shot were the doctors, the nurses, and the technicians for the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this. Well, wait a minute. They don't want to kill the medical system.
Right.
Because this country would crumble in a week if all the medical people stopped working and couldn't work. So I knew the shot was all right then.
Yeah.
I hurried up and got mine. Because I know they can kill the doctors, the nurses, and the people who clean and everything. No, they ain't gonna do it. So that's when I knew it was all right.
Yeah.
So get the shit. Those of you who ain't got it, I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't cold-hearted, but I have no sympathy for you if you come down with COVID. Don't look at how many people coming down with COVID now says I made a mistake, who were Trump supporters.
Yeah.
Totally against the shot. Now listen to them. They're telling you they regret that they followed the wrong leaders, the wrong idea about this COVID. I plan on living a life of longevity, and I know I don't want no side effects. Brother Ray, we got about 1 minute.
All right.
You want to say anything in closing?
Well, I'll just say in closing what I opened with Daniel. Know what your name stands for. Find out what your purpose in life is, and the legacy that you want to live is what Brother Murray is doing now. Help other people to fulfill their God-given talents and what God wants them to be. That's the best thing you can do. Not give them money, which is nice. Not give them some numbers behind, some letters behind their name, doctors and all that, but it is to help them. Because so many people, as Brother Murray said, not only that 3% of people, 97% of people, as Joe Madison said, don't say anything on the phone. Unfortunately, those are the same people that's in your community that don't vote. Those are the same people in your community that don't speak up when something is going on. So those people need encouragement. And thank you again. And always, like I end my show, my time is up. I thank you for your time. Until the next time, this is Reverend Ray. And I like to say, I might not have sight, but I can have vision, vision, vision. God bless and be blessed. Thank you,
Brother Ray. Thank you. And you know we're going to be staying in touch. You know once they open up, we'll be running each other out there because we be going to the same things on a constant basis. So, my brother, I say thank you. God bless you. And you keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, Brother Ray.
You're welcome. God bless.
Now, y'all heard Brother Ray. He gave you some vital information. There's somebody you know needed. You wrote it down. Pass it on. Pass it on. It is not meant for you to keep. Pass it on. That's what I try to get y'all to understand about this show. I can't grow alone. It's up to you to help me grow. You may not realize, you may not need me, but you may be your family member, your church member, your friend, somebody. So what you do is tell them about the show, The Road to Success, and give that blessing of the knowledge so they can tune in, because you never know. You never know what someone's going through. You never know, because they don't tell you their back secret or what's going on. So it's up to you. It is totally up to you. Well, y'all know what time it is, right? Or do y'all know what time it is? Like I always tell you in closing, if you push me, I'll pull you. If you pull me, I'll push you. It's not going to matter whether you're pushing or pulling. Y'all, we're going to get there together. I guarantee I will make you a winner. That's a guarantee from William Murray and the Mastermind, Millionaire Mastermind Institute. Like I always tell you, I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Until next time, y'all, God bless. And keep working on your road to success. Until next time, y'all, God bless.